All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Zdvisor Market Edge. We'll see in this session why yesterday the market went down. We saw a record FII selling, and we are also seeing a very poor weather forecast going forward with the monsoon. So today, could more about this, we have a SEBI research analyst, Mr. Arjit. Arjit, thank you so much for joining us. And let's get started with a quick overview of yesterday's market, why it went down.
Thank you so much for having me, and very good morning to all of the users, viewers watching us. So, to quickly talk about the markets, yesterday's market movement, you can see a very drastic fall. I'd see. So, drastic is a very dangerous word, but we rarely use that on the markets. But a very bad fall in the markets in the last two trading sessions. Monday and Friday, both of the days, we saw huge selling, especially in the last 1 hour. So the entire day, the markets would either be flat or maybe you'd see some positive momentum in the market in the first 2 hours, and then you'd see a strong profit booking. For Friday, we had a reason behind it because the MSCI rebalancing was happening. So on Friday, we saw a huge money outflow and inflow in certain stocks and the indices. Friday's down move made sense. We had a reason behind it. But yesterday's down move, we did not have a lot of reasons behind it. The only major reason was the geopolitical tensions which are escalating. Now, the US Iran war has started once again. They have terminated all of the talks and now they are closing Strait of Hormuz and the other strait, which is the other way across the countries, across the Middle East. They're willing to close that strait as well. So this sounds very serious because if both of the straits are closed, how will the oil transport? How will they transport oil from one country to the other, or how will they, do business around oil and all of the other things? Basically, if the straits are closed, any business that comes in and out from the Middle East is stopped completely, which is a big negative. And that is the exact reason why, if we look at the UK oil, which is the Brent oil as well, we're seeing a huge spike here. You look at crude oil yesterday in the evening session, crude oil was on an upper circuit for more than 6%, and then the circuit was removed and the trading was allowed further in. And even at the closing, you would see that the crude oil futures on MCX was trading with more than gains of more than 5.5%, right? So this is a big negative, and now we already know that crude oil agar upar hai to iska matlab today's market will see the pressure once again. So if you look at the global indices, you look at gift nifty here, we're already negative 0.78%, which means gap down confirmed hai. So right now yesterday we closed at 23,379,382. 0.78% down is what is suggested by Gift Nifty, which means you'll open somewhere between 23,200 to 23,250. अब obviously बात है, sentiments negative हैं. There's literally nobody who's buying in the market. इतना free fall से अगर market गिर रहा है, इसका मतलब retailers are also out of money. They're all invested in. DIIs are daily, they're putting in 3,000 4,000 crores. So of course, unlimited पैसा तो है नहीं. They would also run out of money, which means the market, even after opening with a gap down, the markets might go down and retest 23,135 level, which is the crucial support below 23,300. 23,300 important support है, वो तो तोड़ेगा, that is guaranteed, which is बहुत times उसको defend कर रहा है. We are seeing the entire month of May, the markets were above 23,300. There were two opportunities जहाँ पे double bottom बना के and then the markets had risen. But now I think it is the time for the market to break 23,000 and come back down to 23,135. So this is the entire overview of what happened in the market yesterday. Why was the fall yesterday, and what might happen in the market today? Speak with them.
Got it, got it. Can we look at any sector specific actions that are going to happen today? Because if you look at the
Right.
Wipro, there is a buyback happening too.
Definitely. So Wipro is one segment where you have to watch. Apart from this, just a quick wrap around. You look at Gale. We had marked the levels here. Despite a bad market, we've hit both of our targets in Gale, so that's a big positive. But talking about sector specific action, so on 1st of June yesterday, we saw the auto numbers coming out, and Tata Motors and Maruti Suzuki, along with Mahindra and Mahindra, all of these three top auto sectors have once again performed very well, wherein Maruti Suzuki has recorded a record number of sale for CNG vehicles. Now, this comes because of the increase in petrol and diesel prices and the entire thing that is going on around Middle East. So people have started buying more CNG and EV vehicles. See, this is the exact reason because of EV and CNG vehicles, Tata Motors and Mahindra have also seen a huge rise in sale because people are now willing to buy EV vehicles instead of buying CNG and petrol. Because the logic behind that is petrol already more than 100 rupees per liter. You look at CNG, CNG is also close to 100 rupees liter. So if you buy a CNG car, it does not make sense because petrol and CNG is almost the same rate. So people are dumping all of the fossil fuel related cars and now they're switching over to EV. And EV made the biggest player in India is Tata Motors and Mahindra and Mahindra. If you look at commercial vehicles, we have Olectra Green Tech, but uske to already order books filled hai. So this news would not impact Olectra Green Tech much as it would impact Tata Motors, Mahindra and Maruti. So Maruti Suzuki already हमारे दो टारगेट थे वो दो टारगेट have been hit already and उसके बाद Maruti is in a sideways consolidation. Now, given the market sentiments and the valuation for Maruti Suzuki, I don't think that the stock would really touch new highs once again above 13,800. But I think the stock might remain sideways. Right? So if you're holding your positions, if you have something in your portfolio with Maruti Suzuki, I think it's time to hold more rather than buying at such levels or selling now. You should just wait and watch here and just hold your positions. From another counter from auto sector, we have Tata Motors passenger vehicle, which is TMPV. Now, the news was positive, everything was going well, and Tata Motors did see a positive momentum on Friday, but then yesterday, because of poor market sentiments, the stock was down. Now, this I think is the right opportunity to buy the dip kind of sentiment, wherein you buy the stock whenever there's a fall. So right now, I think this is the right time to buy the stock once again at 385. The stock is not very cheap but not very expensive either. And now that we have a positive news and a good tailwind behind it, I think Tata Motors passenger vehicle should do well from here. And I think we should touch 410 once again in the upcoming trading session. Apart from this, apart from auto, we already have the buyback coming in from Wipro. And another big positive for Wipro is that one of its step down subsidiary, which is Wipro IT Services, is buying significant stake once again in Agni Global Inc. Now, Agni Global Inc. is a leading IT company based out of the US markets. And earlier this month, not this month actually, in this particular financial year 27 from 1st of April, they have already bought 60% stake in that company. And now they're buying additional 20% stake, which means that Wipro is now all set to introduce AI related services in its operations, which is a big positive because we have seen Korean markets rise because of this. We have seen the US markets rise because of this. Even Taiwan market with less than 30% of population of India, they are still more like rising better than doing better than the Indian markets. So I think now that the news is there that Wipro is maybe including AI in its services, we already have stocks like Black Box. If we can just load the chart here for Black Box, right here, right. So Black Box is a company that already is including AI services along with a lot of strategic partnerships and alliances in its operations. And look at the rally that Black Box has seen in the month of May and April. Just I think it's more than 100% rally in just 2 months. So I think Wipro would also follow the same trajectory once the buyback is confirmed, which is already at 10, 20, 25% premium of the current price. So once the buyback happens, once this alliance news comes out and that everybody realizes what's really happening in Wipro, Wipro will again see such rally once again, and maybe it'll lead the Indian IT sector, which would again impact the Nifty 50 and the other broader market indices. People.
This sounds like a great news, honestly, with Wipro buyback. Now, can we look at the open interest and decode the levels for today?
Sure. So this is the 2nd June level loaded up. So I'll just move it to 9th of June because 2nd June, so it's expiry already. So rather than talking about today's expiry, let's look at 9th June expiry, 9th June contracts, like what's happening there. The reason why I'm skipping 2nd June is not because it's expiry, so मैं क्या बताऊं and क्या होगा. It's not. The reason is we already know that the market is going to be negative. All the sentiments are negative. So looking at 2nd June expiry to decode the market level would be a waste of time for all of us. We already know the levels that are marked on the charts already. We already know that obviously there would be more call selling. There would be a higher call OI on the chart. So these are some obvious things on the charts, right? So that is why let's look at 9th of June and let's see which direction will the market go for the entire week. Not just for today, but for the entire week. So if you see here, the at the money strike price is 23,450. Above this at 500, 23,550. Both of these levels, we are seeing that call OI is almost same as put OI, which means again call भी बेच रहे हैं, put भी बेच रहे हैं. There is a very tight fight going on between the bulls and bears at these levels, which means 23,500, 23,500 to 600. This 100 point range would be very crucial resistance, because price जैसे ही ऊपर जाएगा, there would be people selling calls, there would be people selling puts as well, which means the market would remain under pressure at these levels. So if you come back to charts here, 23,500 के ऊपर तो मार्केट पक्का नहीं निकलेगा, इतना तो श्योर है. दैट इज आवर रेजिस्टेंस देयर. नाउ लेट्स लुक एट द लेवल्स फॉर द डाउन साइड. राइट नाउ वी आर एट 23,450. यहाँ से नीचे अगर मार्केट जाएगा तो 23,300 इज द फर्स्ट सपोर्ट दैट यू हैव, एंड द फाइनल सपोर्ट इज 23,000, विच इज ऑलरेडी मार्क्ड है. तो 23,300 ऑलरेडी वहां पे तो हम लोग वो तो ब्रीच करके गैप डाउन होने वाले हैं. तो गैप डाउन होकर जैसे हम लोग खोलेंगे तो विल ओपन नियर 23,100, which is again an area with highest put OI in that particular range, and उसके नीचे जाएगा तो 23,000 is strong support. 23,000 अगर ब्रेक किया, that would be the level जहाँ पे we'll have to start worrying and we'll have to reassess the stocks in our portfolio. We'll have to rethink our decision of buying those stocks. So 23,000 is a crucial level that you have to watch. जब तक 23,000 नहीं आ रहा, just consider this as a buy on dip opportunity. Wait for the market to come up, then that would be the moment where you would sell the markets once again. Right now, blindly selling is stupid. If you're selling the markets because gap down हो गया, then you're making the worst mistake with your capital right now. गैप डाउन है, these gaps are always covered in the market, चाहे वो एक दिन में हो, चाहे वो 3 दिन में हो, चाहे वो एक हफ्ते में हो. But gap down के बाद selling it further is very risky, and in 90% of the cases people lose their entire capital in this. So if you're already positioned for a down move, congratulations, maybe the luck was with you or you're very good at analysis. But if you're not positioned for the downside, then you should probably just cut down your long positions, wait for the downside, and buy on the important support levels. Pay for them.
Got it, Arjit. Thank you so much for today's session. A very clear, decodes we did in today's session. Let's reconnect tomorrow and do the decoding furthermore.
Definitely. Thank you so much.